Welcome to this end of week's State of the Escritoire. So you probably already know that I am rolling with the Mag 600 here. That's kind of deservedly, I've been using this a lot since I got it. I've also been using this 1.5 millimeter that was ground to an italic. So it's got an insanely fine point with a giant line variation for when you go straight up and down. All right, also, I'm almost to the end of this notebook. I was doing, before I do a video, I always get some facts on the company so I can help people kind of know what's going on. Let's see, what else? Four Peaks Purple, Roman Bronze Oxidation I was having fun with, thanks to Hellcat. This was kind of cool. I was just getting rid of some ink, and I was just kind of using up some ink while I was, cleaning pens. I don't just want to waste it, so I'm like, I'll do something with it. And I'm not an artist, certainly, by any means, but I had fun just kind of drawing with that. I'm a giant Batman fan, so what else we got? Tests here of different pens, different nibs. This was the 1.5 millimeter italic nib. Look how nice that is. I was wishing I got the ebonite feed because I got the regular stock. I did get a nice high flow too. Thank you for watching. But again, here it is, that 1.5 millimeter italic. Great for large embellishment. Look at the just the beauty in that writing when you get the hang of it. Here's a 1.1 stub for comparison that doesn't have the italic grind, and it's definitely nice. But then this way more concentration. But once you get into it, oh man, I'm gonna talk more about that one in the future. All right, so this one's only got a couple pages left, so I think I'm gonna keep it here, keep it by the Escritoire for random writings. So now we're going to be replacing that with another Tomoe River. These were Tomoe River from Goulet pens. So it's not bleed through. This is from other things closing it. But it's not bleed through, but even this thicker paper is enough that I don't really use the back side because you can see kind of the writing on the other side. So I don't typically use this because I don't want that to detract from the other side. So the fact that I don't use the back side may just be fine in this one. We'll definitely test it, but it's Tomoe River, which is my favorite brand of paper. So that's awesome. And it's a bigger one too, so I'll have more pages, but we're gonna put that in. And I also keep this other one here that's lined for work purposes. If I'm at a meeting or something, I've got nice lined paper as well. Cool. All right, so we'll put this up to the side for random musings. All right, moving on. I need to organize all these samples that I've been making for people. All right, so I've got them all lined up by type. So far, we've got Colorverse Bow Shock. We've got, what's this one? Colorverse Cat, Colorverse Intense Magnetic Field, Diamine Winter Spice, Diamine Holly, Ferris Wheel Press, Tokyo Bay Blue, Emerald of Chivor, Sailor Manyo Kanagi, and Wearing Gold TikTok Croc. So now I'm going to start divvying these up, and I'm going to get one or two more inks too while I'm at it. I'm going to give out some Colorverse Hayabusa. So I'm going to go ahead and prep these vials with their brand and ink, CV.H for Colorverse Hayabusa. All right, so we got our area prepped. We've got our bigger syringe. We're going to try and pull 9 milliliters to get 3 in each of those. Now with shimmer inks, you really got to shake them up. You can see on the bottom when it's really been kind of shaken well. You really do have to be quick because otherwise the shimmer settles quickly in most of these inks. Let's go ahead and get 9. I'll do 10 just because of the air bubbles. And we're going to about 3 each. All right, so here we go. This is Hayabusa. And it's got a lot of shimmer. It's got some kind of goldish sheen there too, when almost green. But yeah, so this is great for, get a water drop on that tea, but this ink was great for event writing, right? So Easter was recently up, and I, wrote some Easter letters in this ink. This was awesome for fancy. Oh, speaking of Falcon nib. I just did a review on the 743, so there's the Falcon nib. But this ink is good for kind of fancy event writing. It's not something that I use kind of every day, just because it's a little bit over the top with the, you know, shimmer in there on top of a purple. So, but it is a nice one. But it is a nice purple, and I'm definitely sharing it, and I loved having it for Easter recently. Since we're on purples, I'm also sharing this Intense Magnetic Field, which is more of a plum. And here was a comparison to something I got as a sample, Four Peaks Purple. And this I actually really appreciate because it doesn't have any of the shimmer in it, and this is more of an everyday purple that I can use. All right, I've got my little army of inks I now have to separate. Getting some of our inks here. Side note, as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that the time that it takes for the walls to run dry, that also is corresponding to the time that it takes to clean. So the ones that run thinner off the walls quickly are quicker to clean out of my pens than the ones that take longer, like this one. All right, so I finished bagging. I've got samples for Hellcat. I've got samples for Brownie, who's used a lot of ink, so it was tough to find some he didn't use yet. And this one's going to the Joy in Pens and Paper. That's my friend Aaron. And this one, as I was going ahead and making vials, I made some extra ones. So this one could be for you if you leave a comment down below after, I'll say 7 days, so maybe Friday sometime around the afternoon. I will take everybody who left a comment and draw randomly. I'll try and record that. I will contact you, and I'll send these to you. I will send you these ink samples free of charge. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with us this far, and let's keep going so I can show you one more cool thing. Side note too, I am putting duct tape around it. I found Hellcat did that, and his samples arrived nice and securely, so I'm doing that to all the samples before I send them. So as is part of the ritual now, I'm going to get prepared and do an awesome wax seal for Hellcat here. I'll do a lengthier video at some point about the details of this, but I'm just going to go ahead and get this process started. So we got our little candle over there. Now we're going to take our bit there. We're going to prepare our wax. I found with these ones, 3 is okay. 4 is a little overkill. So I'm going to do 3 on this one. Each kind of segment of wax is different, so sometimes it takes more, sometimes it takes less, depending on the cut of the wax. And as those are just going to go ahead and melt, I'm going to go ahead and start writing our letter here. And we are using a Smooth Precision Pens bronze jigsaw. And I put a G2 Gold in it. So this is a waterproof ink. All right, so we're just kind of saying to Hellcat there. I went ahead and I chose a stamp that's going to be cool for our friend here. All right, so let's take a look here. We can tell our wax is about done. We're going to start the process. Get something there that you're going to be able to rest this on after you pour this, because you're going to have to do this process decently fast, right? So I'm not going to wait for every single drop, but that is searing hot, so I've got something to rest that on. This one you don't have to really align, so I'm just going to go right into the thick of it and smush it down. Now I'm just going to let this kind of rest. And after about, 5-10 seconds, we're going to be able to take this off, and it'll just kind of peel itself off as we attempt, and that's how you know it's ready. You don't want to pull it if there's too much force. Again, I'll do a whole video on this at some point. There we go. Once you make a seal, you can then get some application of specialty colors to kind of highlight that seal. And we're going to go ahead and show you what that looks like now. But now you can see that really makes your seal pop. And that's a cool thing too, especially, if you color coordinate. Like I got the gold with the gold trim there and the gold ink up top. So, it's a fun thing. And when you get into letter writing, you want to make it an experience. This definitely helps with that experience. And as an added bonus, we're going to toss in some Batman graphic novels. Now, these 2 were brand new, and I ended up collecting them and then getting an omnibus that also included these 2. So these are brand new. I didn't realize I was kind of doubling down on those, so that'll be nice. This will bring our friend Hellcat right up until the newest lineage. So he can go to a comic store, pick out a brand new off-the-shelf Batman if he wanted, and he would be caught up to speed. So those are cool there. This one's a nice story going back to Morrison, if you're familiar with his writing. And then a classic. We're going to send him A Lonely Place of Dying. This was back when Jason Todd, the second Robin, died, and Tim Drake, the third Robin, took over for him. A hallmark of the era. And then we've got brand new ones that are going to bring him up to speed. So those are going to be awesome to send in the mail. Thank you so much, Hellcat, for your donations and for your ink samples. Thank you again. I think that's going to do it for this week's end of week State of the Escritoire. Thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for coming on my journey of ink samples and wax seals and Batman and friends in the hobby. So stick with us, and I hope to bring you more fun stuff soon.